Welcome to CITN and you. I want to thank every one of our listeners, viewers from around the world, from around Nigeria, that have followed all this. You're welcome to the first edition of 2024. Coincidentally, this is the 15th edition, and it coincides. I did a special edition, special episode, said, coinciding with the welcoming back and the hosting of the biggest masquerade in the Institute, in the person of Mr. Samuel Olosolagbeli, MNI FCTI. Welcome, Mr. President, to the 15th edition of this program. Yeah, my president, we've been discussing Trump, and we've been looking for you. You've been so busy with the work of the Institute, that is understood. First of all, I want to congratulate you on the completion of your job, Nigeria. Can you just briefly share with us, what will you think would be the major value addition by the Institute sending someone your caliber to partake in that program? What do you think will be the takeaway for us as an institute, and how does it add value to the leadership of the Institute?
Thank you very much. National Institute for Policy and Strategies. So I will take it from the name for policy and strategy. Everything at the leadership of any organization centers on vision, policy, and strategy. So once we get that right, of course, we can be sure that other things, what is being done, the promise to play, be all right. So to have the privilege of being in the midst for 10 months in the midst of highly cerebral technical across the country, to me, it's a great privilege. I learned a lot. A lot of things. Putting, we are 97, 45. Junior secretary was 45.
Okay.
We are 97, and that brings to the fact that you have people from the military, you have from the police, you have from the public servant, the public service, you have from the private sector, you have from the academic, and to learn with this distinguished Nigeria under the leadership of evident scholars, facilitators across the country, and some came from outside the country, and to also embark on the study tours within the country, in Africa, and outside Africa. I tell you, it was an intensive 10 months where a lot of things were taught and learned. It's a great opportunity. I can't download.
Okay.
I can't possibly download what I learned in 10 months under this program. But I tell you, it was a rewarding and educative experience.
Wow, thank you. Well, thank you once again for sharing that your thoughts with us. Now, my president, so CITN, for the past few months of your presidency, in the next month, we'll be hitting a year. What has it been like? What has been the journey so far for the Institute? And generally, share with us what the vision, what is the direction under leadership, and the long-term game plan, so to say, for CITN generally.
Let me quickly say this. I run away from a 10-point agenda, 5-point agenda. The Institute has its agenda.
Okay.
The Institute has objective for which it was established. So we keep our eyes on the board. We keep our eyes on the objective of the Institute for which the Institute was established. I'll give you an example. To set the standard of the knowledge required to be a tax professional. That is a major objective. And no president of the Institute can keep his eye up that goal, up that objective. So for me, starting from the student members, we regularly review our syllabus to ensure that, because that is dynamic, very much unlike some other discipline. You see, what you know yesterday is not what you know today. What is relevant yesterday is not what is going to be relevant today. A new budget has just been signed. It brings about some other dynamics. So, and the students must be properly trained, examined before they become a member. Now you become a member, of course, the job I just started. We have a program, mandatory professional training program, whereby we teach from now regularly our members, updating them on those things they need to know, because the taxation follows the economy, byproduct or derivative, as the case may be, and the law set the tone. So that means when you look at personal income tax, it may not necessarily be the way it was some 5 years ago. And the truth is that it is not the same it was 5 years ago. So we keep our eyes, whoever is the president, you will need to keep your eyes on the objective for which the institute is set up. You could bring some initiative. For example, Zoom training was not here some years ago. It is here. So whoever is the president at this time must ensure that technology is top-notch. You won't see technology in our arts, but the art says you must train, you must focus on knowledge. So whoever is the president must focus on technology to ensure that this training gets to everybody who is interested, not necessarily our members alone, but even including the taxpayers and all other stakeholders. That is one. Two, we need advocacy. Now, we don't have Zoom. We don't have technology that we have it today, some 10 years ago. We continue to do our advocacy. So whatever is my agenda is subsumed in the objective of the institute. And of course, we need to do this very well.
Okay, thank you, President. That's so well understood. Thank you so much, sir. Now, for the past 10 years that you've been at the HEMFA Fair, what has it been like? Our relationship with the regulatory body, let's say the FRS, the State Internal Revenue Services, and even the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Budget, National Planning, and all the rest. What has it been like? How have we interacted with these people, giving people how to handle, been in touch over the past 10 months?
Well, I call them stakeholders, and they are very important. When you say the ecosystem, no one can stand alone. No one is an island. So if we talk about the FRS, it will interest you to know that CITN has the highest members of other professionals in CITN. That is their staff who are members of CITN.
Wow.
We have the highest. That tells you that we need to focus on FRS, starting from the leadership. You will also you also know that recently, maybe a few months ago, the leadership of FRS changed to a new man who is a senior member of our institute and who is doing very well. So we need to relate with them from time to time. The various state internal revenue service, of course, they are partners in progress. We have a lot of our staff working in those organizations. So from time to time, we need to do stakeholders engagement, reach out to them, we discuss, and system-wise, CITN is a member of JTB. JTB is the umbrella that brings everybody in the family. And we have a meeting. CITN belongs to a committee in JTB. I'm a member of JTB, and we attend the meeting and we discuss, we dialogue as to how we can make better that system in the country. Maybe I need to mention this. Some of the things that President Tinubu has given to the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform has been what JTB has been working on even before now. A bit, it may not have been at the same speed, but it's been on the table. So there's this convergence in the system, whereby, as represented by JTB, whereby we do a lot. And of course, CITN, be a knowledge-based institute, we always offer our perspective from time to time.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. It's interesting mentioning the fiscal and tax reform job the federal government has given the committee led by a member. Interestingly, he was in the general edition of this program. Exactly. In 2023. Exactly. Now, so far, what has it been like? Have we been able as an institute to also support? Have we been, we recognize that certain professional bodies are also part of the member, the broader, wider member, but in specific term, how have we kind of have a handshake how have we given them specific support in the area of taxation, revenue, and economic growth and all that?
Well, thank you very much. The committee has my humble self as a member, and we have a lot of our members of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, who are also members of the committee. And as you know, Tawo Idele, the chairman of that committee, is a member of this institute. We have worked together in the past, and we are still working together. So, as an institute, when the need arose, we submitted report to the committee covering several areas in order to support and shape whatever the outcome of that job that the committee is doing, so that we have a better tax system in the country. And of course, as individuals, we have a lot of senior members of this institute who are also playing one role or the other in the work of that committee. And you mentioned some other organizations or institutes that are also part of that committee, rightly so. CITN, taxation generally, as we know it, you can't talk of taxation without economics. You can't talk of taxation without law. And of course, accounting has a role to play in it. So the convergence of these people, having various members of the other professional institutes, will only make it better. But of course, CITN is playing a prominent role in the work of that committee.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. So I'm coming down now to the core of our essence, our membership base. Some years ago, we did a rebranding as an institute. We changed the logo, touched the color, changed the theme, came up with new core value and all of that. But we look at professional body around the world, the respect they have is by the premiumness of the membership of that professional body. You know, how premium are the members? That is about wide, far and large, that distinguishing factor that makes a professional body totally branded. So given our increasing number, interestingly, and to the glory of God, what is the plan, or what has the institute been doing under your presidency to ensure that we don't lose that sharpening edge, that flick in the quality that touches on our brand as a professional body?
You see, take knowledge out of the affairs of any professional. It's empty. And when you talk of premium, the premium can only come from the content of what you are, what you can, what is your being, what you can offer. And we normally say what you do have, you can't give. So starting from what enables you to be a member of the institute, up to when you become a member of the institute. And as said at the beginning of this program, we are conscious of the frequent changes that is part of taxation. And that is unique. It is unique. Several years ago, the leaders, the presidents, some 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, were always recommend to the president of this country, to the federal government, that you don't come out with a budget without finance act, or a document explaining how you go about getting revenue and how you go about spending. The government then were not listening until President Buhari came and we visited and he listened to us. And thereafter, we got Finance Act 2019 that has been giving some kind of explanation and guideline to what to expect in a particular year, tax-wise, essentially. And this has been a major contribution. So the cutting edge, the premium is that you, as a member, you know that you must continually be developing yourself. This is key. Without the knowledge, there's no premium. So the premium is always around the knowledge that you have. And so as an institute, we don't joke with our mandatory professional training program. I will say that again. We have seminars. We have various districts. I just finished having a meeting with Lekki and PI district, their leadership. And our discussion centered on training. They need whatever we are doing at the national level must be replicated at the various district level. So to that extent, once we are good in terms of training, the quality of manpower, the quality of professionals we produce and we retain, of course, the premium will always be there. And again, there's another dimension to taxation that has been increasingly popular in the past 5, 7, 10 years, as the case may be, because of the global economy. So it's no longer, there's no border anywhere. Of course, ICT has even removed whatever border. So people are working in Nigeria and they are getting their salary paid in Canada. So that means you need to know beyond the boundary of your whatever. So we don't joke with our international taxation. It's a core area in our exam for students. It's a core area in our training. It's a core area in our conferences and seminars. This is to ensure that we have a balanced, a well put together professionals in the institute who can always contribute to the economic development of the country.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. You've taken it, elucidating one after the other. I'm going to come back to the international dimension on what CITN is doing in the Africa, in the African territory, so to say. But let me start with the manpower, the human resource of the institute. Our numbers are increasing over 25,000.
20,000.
To over 20,000. Thank you. We've increased it. Now, what's the plan? Because this increasing number have impacts on the human resource that can serve them efficiently. I want to ask my license, I want to ask my MPTP, I want to ask this, I want to ask that. What is the plan ensuring that, looking at like a certain international body, who I don't want to mention their name, how are we expanding outward to cope with this interesting increase as a professional body?
Thank you, for this good question. And let me use this opportunity to thank my colleague, council, who have been very cooperative. Specifically, I will need to thank the Vice President, Mr. Innocent Oagua, who had fought in my absence from June. I was Vice President before June, so it was not the entire 10 months anyway. And I also need to extend my appreciation to the staff. There is no institute without the secretariat that is taken. And there's also something that is unique because I'm a member of other professional bodies. 1, 2, 3, I don't need to name them. There's something that is unique with CITN. We are very critical of ourselves. We tell ourselves the truth. We are critical of ourselves. And I'm also critical of the secretariat. So I'm critical. So my goal is my goal. And to that extent, I thank them for how far they've been able to carry the job, the institute along. I'll give you an example. The ICT department of CITN has been growing, possibly even ahead of some technology, some development around. So when it comes to ICT and the institute, we are not lagging behind in any form. It is not Agbeliu that is doing that. It is not Agua or any of the council members. Even though we supervise, we do oversight supervision. But the essence is that the staff, the people behind this, we go from conference to conference, and you see innovation and development. What you saw in Kaduna is different from what you see in Abuja. What we saw in the hotel is not what is different from whatever. There has been kind of regular improvement from the start. So what do? You appreciate them. And when there's a need, of course, to look at ourselves in the future and say you are not doing enough, we are able to do that. But overall, I can tell you we have a workforce that's good, that has supported the vision of the institute.
Well, thank you, but that was interesting. And that of ICT, I can relate with what I said, because we look at the professional body, CITN is way ahead, really, functional, cutting edge ICT services, interaction platform, and all that. That's for real. My president, so I now go to the African continent question. You've spoken about the borderlessness of the profession that is technically removed by the way of certain technology, free flow of certain treaties, and all that. How do you think the institute can help our members? I need to give advice for someone in Ghana, for example, give advice to someone in Burkina Faso, up there in Morocco, down there in Zimbabwe and all of that. Because Nigeria is a huge hub, the largest hub, in the entire region of Africa. So how are they still doing to make sure the members are able to latch on these opportunities of this cross-border tax advisory to ensure that this volume of trades going on in and out of Nigeria, are properly tapped into by way of providing tax advisory and the likes by CITN members in particular?
Of course, thank you very much. We are in Nigeria, we criticize ourselves. We sometimes look down on ourselves as if we don't matter. But when you go outside the shore of this country, you know that Nigerians are doing very well. I've been under the umbrella of West African Union Tax Institute. I'm currently the second vice president. I've been to a number of countries in West Africa and other African countries. And what you see is that you see great Nigerians, some of them who are members of this institute, doing very well across West Africa and across the space of Africa. And it is the same training, but the international dimension, which I mentioned earlier. Once you have the training, you have the required the knowledge, so to say, then of course you are good to go. And we don't abandon our members. We are so conscious of those in diaspora. So we have various platforms to pass information because information is key. The various changes is also key. So we know I was in South Africa for a conference some 2 years ago, and I met a lot of our members. And what we have in South Africa today can be regarded as a chapter, which is smaller than an institute, smaller than a district. And I'm in regular relationship communication with them. We discuss, and hopefully in this year 2024, something will happen about formalizing that arrangement. It is just to provide a platform whereby the necessary training, the necessary knowledge can be shared among these people. We have them in Ghana, we have them in Ivory Coast, and we have them everywhere. By benefit of the meeting we doing and in terms of the worldwide tax arena, it's also key. So information sharing amongst our members has helped them greatly. And I can tell you from time to time, we get across to ask some questions. We have the area of some gray area that we need to get more. So we are doing very well. Framework-wise, WAUTI is also doing very well, covering some ground. And I'm aware there's a body, the African covering the tax institute across Africa. It's not yet there, but there are efforts at making sure that shortly they become very vibrant.
So thank you, Mr. President. I want us to look at the economic empowerment of members using the certificate you've given us, the license you've given us to operate as a professional. If you look at our subscription, it is a key resource for the successful operation of the institute and its long-term viability as well. And also being able to pay that subscription and all that is also a function of the ability of members to, to actually make the income, get well balanced, make the payment and all of that. So on the welfare of members, on economic empowerment, you are aware, my president, I've done it for so many years, of course, for over a decade even. Our members do this timer thing and all of that. We are saying Are there other schemes or programs the institute may consider, or what are the ways through which our members can be empowered to ensure we know entrepreneurship goes through various ways. We know they can rear rabbit and all of that, but even the certificates you have given us after reading so hard to pass the exam, how can we be empowered? How can we, be led to create value using the certificates while functioning within the profession that we so much love?
Thank you very much. On the lighter note, maybe you are talking that one of the rabbit rear. So, and I'm proud. I'm a proud farmer. So, I relate with spray. I relate with rabbit. So it's what I know very well, and it's what I do. But back to the discussion, economic power, empowerment of our members. You see, there are a lot of opportunities in this country. Let me take it from the country itself. Okay. There are a lot of opportunity, and if you are a professional, all you need to do is look at your area of strength. That is key. Okay. You need to, nobody will do that for you. You can seek for advice, but you need to tell yourself the truth. Okay. What is my area of strength? Some people will do very well in employment. So the opportunities are there. Years ago, account department will handle everything. Gone are those days. You need tax regulatory officers or manager or department, as the case may be. That has created a lot of opportunity for our members because tax-related issue is no longer what it used to be. The agencies, the revenue collecting agencies are coming from everywhere. So if you are not careful and if you have tax crisis not properly managed, it's a signal to the fact that your going concern is being threatened. So no serious organization can joke with the tax commitment or obligation they need to carry out to the various agencies. You agree with me that various governments come and go and they talk about revenue. So what is revenue? Tax revenue, we have said over and over again that it's the only sustainable way of financing public entity, public expenditure, and the like. So for any business outfit, you need tax manager and you need tax department. That is key. It was not there years ago. Because of the importance of taxation, we also need to produce more people. Some 5 years ago, some 10 years ago, we never had taxation as a course of study in the tertiary institutions. Now we have about 33 tertiary institutions where taxation is covered, either at ND level, HND level, BSc level, MSc, and PhD. Wow. Across the country. That was not there ago. And some people will man this post. Some people will be the examiners. Some people will work in the department. So this is critical. Some people are just good at writing. And I think you are one of them. We have great authors who must, because we don't, as we speak, we don't have all the materials. So some people we still use foreign material. And of course, that has its local element. So we have some people who are authors, who are doing very well, who are producing materials for our students and even the members to read. Because you need to keep on making reference to this material so that should there be any area of confusion. Of course, the revenue agencies want to maximize their revenue collections, while the taxpayer want to minimize the tax payment. So without knowledge, you can't do this. So there's another opportunity in the area of academic. There's another opportunity in the area of those who want to write books. So the opportunities are getting wider. The people you refer to as TAMA, the consultants, I would rather call them consultants, because the government, they will need people who need to advise them. Okay. You can't just, during the campaign era, you see politicians build 10,000 kilometers of road, build one specialist hospital in every senatorial district. Everything ends at the campaign ground. Now, you need somebody to sit down with you. You need some set of professionals to tell you, okay, if you follow this path, you get revenue. So we have our members who are doing very well in this area. And if you look at the Bureau of Statistics, National Bureau of Statistics, if you look at revenue collection by various states, it's been improving. We are not there yet. Who are the people behind this improvement in revenue generation? They are members of this institute, doing very well across the country. So the opportunity is there. All that we advise our members, pay attention to your area of strength. Taxation is wide, and don't listen to those people who say taxation is small. Taxation is wide. You can't even cover everything. Oil like that is sufficient for you to specialize. Personal income tax, property tax. I have a member of this institute who is doing very well with stamp duty. So you need to sit down and look at what is this thing that we are calling taxation. It's no longer that small. I have 15 minutes to exam and I go and pick taxation book and read. No, if you do that now, you go into oblivion. You can't survive. It's so complex and so wide. So all that we encourage our members so that in 2024 they can do better than they are doing before is to look specialized. Taxation is not small. I will say that again. I'm in it. And I know what transfer pricing is. Many companies are having issues with the revenue agency. And the good thing is that the FRS of this world, I don't want to be accused of paying attention to some state internal revenue, but some state internal revenue, they are well ahead of the system. So if you are not good as a consultant, then of course your client will be paying liability that they are not supposed to pay. So you need to be on top of what you are doing. You need to know what this thing actually entails. Sit down, research, and if you don't know, there's no crime. I'm in FEM A, and I have an issues with either Federal Internal Revenue Service or possibly Gombe State Internal Revenue Service. And there's an issue that we are trying to resolve that is not too clear to me. I will reach out to my colleague, and we sit down together, we resolve it. That is the best way to do. Sometimes we need to collaborate. If you've been handling personal income tax for the past years or company income tax, and you have an issue with inheritance tax.
Okay.
I have a client who is having dual transactions that I need to advise now. And I've never done that before. So you think I will sit down here and I can't conjure anything. Whatever advice I give to my client must be evidence-based, must be backed by fact. So what do? I will reach out to my colleague who has been having that kind of assignment before. You need to know how technical oil and gas is. So the opportunities are there. Just you need to sit down, look at your area of strength and concentrate. And before you know it, whatever you want will come your way.
Wow, thank you, Mr. President, for that detailed explanation to our members to look at areas to explore to get better economic wise. So we are going to open our lines now. Team, I want to talk to our audience, please. We have questions, commentary, observation, and any question you want to ask about CITN. The authority is here. Every question in the world about CITN, the authority is here. So please use the palm icon. Use the palm icon. So we are going to call on you. Use the palm icon. Call on you to ask a question. You say your name, your membership number, then you go ahead to speak with the president. So use the palm icon. Just use the palm icon on the. As soon as we see it, we'll call on you. Team, do we have anything on the chat box? Do we have question commentary on the chat box? Is there any for now? Are there questions of Mr. President? Gently scroll through. Okay, we are seeing well wishing for the new year and for the president. Okay, so if you have any question in the process, just use the palm icon, we'll call on you, you mute and go ahead and make your contribution. For now, we are having only congratulatory messages and appreciation. Someone is asking, Okay, yeah. Somebody is trying to pep us up.
That's of interest to me.
Yes. So maybe we'll talk about that later. That is the coming annual tax conference.
Yes,
very important.
Yes.
Very important. So annual tax conference. Thank you, Chile, for all the great job you've been doing on the ATC, holding 13th to 17th May 2024. So the president will speak on that later on. So let's go ahead, Mr. President. Now, like you said, big corporations are having departments, tax departments, fully manned.
Yes.
Big corporation.
Yes.
So we know in the next few years, even the medium-sized one, apart from calling consultants once in a blue moon, we need to have something more structured to enable them, to actively plan and comply. So the input for the future of our institute and profession, the students, you're talking about the universities that are started running full-fledged Department of Taxation. So what is the institute doing to get more to run? Because as we speak, we have over 400 tertiary institutions that run courses in the Faculty of Business or Management Sciences that can also run something on taxation. So you mentioned about 33. What is it doing to ensure that we get more buy-in, from this tertiary institution to get them to operate more fully fledged taxation departments? And also, something that is like it, how are we making sure that the lecturers that handle them, not just saying, okay, I read accounting, I can do it, tax accounting and all of that. How are we adequately resourced by our people through and through who man these various departments, and they need to increase them so that I can have more number coming into the funnel?
Oh, okay, thank you. That is distance from accounting. And we have seen that if that was not clear some years ago, it is clear now. CITN was making this statement before, but the people in the academia, they are making that statement now. And of course, it is because of the belief of MBT,
okay,
LUC, that we have those tertiary institutions that have found taxation as suitable, distinct to be a course to be run the various tertiary institutions. And of course, you rightly observe, we need manpower, quality manpower to train them. And in the accreditation of this program, in the various tertiary institutions, CITN is involved, and we have good relationship with NUV and MBT in terms of, because for you to set up any department to run, to teach taxation, of course, we need the requisite manpower, and our members are there across the country. Years ago, I was the chairman of a student affairs committee of this institute, and my first visit was to the Federal Polytechnic in Nekede. And that Polytechnic started, was the first to start taxation at ND level.
Wow.
I was in Federal Polytechnic in Laro. I was in Nassau State University, and across the country. And the current chairman of Student Affairs of the institute is also doing great work. Just yesterday or day before yesterday, the tax club of University of Ilorin was, I think they had a program, and the chairman of Student Affairs was there. That was reported on our council platform yesterday. It is to show the kind of collaboration and the activities that we have there. Now, beyond the tertiary institutions, it will interest you to know that as we speak, WAEC is collaborating with CITN and Federal Inland Revenue Service so that taxation can be introduced at that level.
Wow.
Very soon, we will have taxation
This
as
is
a
good
course
to know.
For those sitting to write WAEC or GC exam. We are expecting NECO to do the same thing. That means we will very soon see taxation in JAM exam. So that if
as a subject.
as a subject,
Wow,
as
this
a
is
subject.
interesting.
I got a letter yesterday that was sent to me from the secretariat, a meeting between WAEC, FRS and CITN was rescheduled. So work has gone very far at advanced stage, and the input of the institute is welcome. So I will keep on saying it. It is not what it used to be.
Wow, this is interesting.
The world is moving, the nation is moving. If you are looking at, and we've been saying this right from when I was a district chairman, CITN has been saying that you can't finance a country as big as Nigeria with oil revenue. It can't be a monoproduct economy. And you think we survive? Of course, the leaders of those years never took us serious. I doubt if there's anybody, whether at local government level or state or federal, who will not take taxation serious now. And you can see the attention the federal government, the current president is paying to it. Immediately he got to office, he started talking of multiplicity of taxes, because he felt that is going to be an hindrance to tax revenue collection. And he has taken steps. One of the first major steps he took in office. This is to tell you the space of taxation. So I tell you, then without manpower, as you are rightly identified, it won't work. Because again, apology to the politicians. I hear politicians talking of, I want to do this, I want to do that. And you ignore the process. The process is the manpower. Who are the people who will do this? So we are very conscious of this. And the 28,000, if you go into our database, you need to see the specialization of some of these 25,000. Those who are in the academic, those who are going to the academy, those who are in the industry, those who are consultants, those who are in employment. So, and these people are needed, and we believe in CITN that we still need many more people to come on board. And because the best time to be a tax professional is now. So if you are not doing very well, we welcome you join us. We are doing very well, and we are just starting.
Wow, thank you. This is interesting. And I was looking at the screen. Someone has a question for you, probably an elder too. He said, are members over 70 years of age exempted from payment of CITN subscription?
Thank you, my elder Patrick Obodo, if I'm getting it right.
Correct, sir. Yes, Obodo, yes, right.
Thank you very much. CITN is so sensitive. Without our members, there will be no CITN. So we have stakeholders, and we are sensitive to the various stakeholders, from the secretariat to our past president to members of various ages. So in the institute, if you have 65, okay, not even 70, you don't need to get to age 70. If you are 65 and you have paid your annual dues consistently, you are not owing, of course, you get all the benefits. The benefits are there for you. And even our previous program, our annual tax conference, you won't pay what Sam Okoye we need to pay. You pay a fraction. You pay a fraction of what others will pay. Once we are in a good financial standing, as at the time you attain the age of 65, then we have a whole lot of package for you. Okay, wow. So the institute is sensitive to you, and we appreciate you, sir, for having been a reliable and financial member of the institute so far. God bless you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, there is a question I'm seeing, because we have structure. I think there is a committee also that can answer that, but you may just want to give your thoughts. Maybe not any specific answer. Someone is asking, is there a plan of the institute to review the credit hour method, to review the method of credit hour granted to encourage attendance?
Fantastic. I'm a product of the district, so I'm interested in that question. I'm a product of the district. Ikeja district brought me up, and I'm so grateful to them. So to that extent, the institute is conscious of activities at district level.
Okay.
There's a condition you must meet before you get a credit hour. And because we keep on saying the knowledge, getting the required knowledge is key. And we are conscious of the fact that the institute at the national level may not be able to do everything. So we encourage our various districts to make sure that they do training. When they have their meeting, it could be 30 minutes training, it could be 45 minutes training, as the case may be, subject to the time of the facilitator, subject to the topic they want to discuss. So that is encouraged. And once you do that, get the attendance, get everything across to the secretariat. Of course, your credit hour will be given to you. If the unwritten request from that man, that is his question. But if the unwritten one is that he wants to have the credit hours reviewed. Of course, the Deputy Vice President of the Institute is listening to this program as the chairman of Joint District Society. So he will always bring it board to council for our review, and we will review appropriately because we quite appreciate our various districts across the country. And it's gone beyond across the country, across the world.
That's
for the information of our members. Last year, we inaugurated the UK and District Society. And I'm happy to say that district is vibrant.
Wow.
Very vibrant. I'm aware of their program as recent as 2 weeks ago or thereabout, where they had their end of year program. Fantastic people, great program they are doing. And 2024 offers us another opportunity to have more districts outside the shore of this country, because the international dimension you mentioned the other time also has a lot of benefit to get from districts outside this country. And I'm also aware, of course, they will announce it themselves, but if I'm permitted at the president to say that some programs are coming up in UK later this year.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dele Ogunjobi, I'm sure you heard the president speaking on the MCP credit review and then what can be done. So we have a note from Dr. A.S.K. Makinde. So I want to advise that the Institute press harder through the Office of the Head of Service, particularly at the federal level, to begin to have career path development for tax professionals in the civil service. When can we have this roadmap?
Thank you very much. That man cannot hide his identity. That's Ask Makinde, a one-time council member of this institute, a senior member of the institute, a very good member, so to say. So Ask Makinde, long time. Thank you for reaching out. It's a work in progress. We are happy to announce that we have the benefit. The institute is in the scheme of service. So if you are a member of the institute, you are placed on level 10. Career path, I quite agree with you. That has been in the pipeline. Maybe because Makinde has some information and he wants us to fast track. I tell you, we fast track and we work in favor of the members, because that will also widen the opportunities to members of this institute. You see, a transaction passed through a non-professional in taxation, and is not able to see the tax element. But a member of the institute, a transaction passed through your table, you are able to see the tax element, and you are able to advise the government. And I say this because I know I'm a practitioner. I've defended clients who executed projects with government, and they never pay attention to the withholding tax. They never paid attention to the VAT, and this they got payment. So years later, the revenue agency will come and say, "Okay, you have not been good of this." The question I ask is that this transaction, when it was being processed for payment, it was through some people's table. Why was the right thing not done? It's for knowledge. So Ask Makinde, thank you. We are working on this, and we will hopefully very soon have good news for our members.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Before we take this, President, I want you to speak on the coming annual tax conference.
Okay.
So that let's be just. We are going to come back to.
Sorry. There's something on the dashboard I'm seeing here, and I want to use the opportunity to make pass some information to our members.
Okay.
What is the institute doing at ensuring practice licenses recognized and acceptable outside the country? We are working with other people in other jurisdictions. So, and of course, you are aware that everybody will guide his jurisdictions consciously, but nobody can deny the knowledge that Nigeria has. So the moment you may talk of sovereignty of your country, you may say whatever you like, but once you see the need, once you see the benefit you can get by relating with Nigeria, of course, you will, at a point, need to drop the idea of sovereignty, this and that. And I'm happy to announce that your institute, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, in a few days' time, we'll be receiving a delegate from Gambia, the Gambia Revenue Authority that we are training. So that means, that speaks to that. So if you are a tax professional from Nigeria and you have a client in Gambia, of course, they will consider you because they know you have the knowledge. And I've seen in my work as an expert of royalty moving across the West Coast, I've met Nigerians at some places you never know they will be. And it is that has taken them there. So my brother that asked that question, you have the opportunity. The framework may not be totally in place, but in practice, we have them, and the recognition of Nigerian tax system and CITN by the Gambia Revenue Authority is a confirmation of that. So they are coming in 2 batches, and the first one will be coming a few days' time for CITN to train them.
Oh, great. Thank you, Mr. President. There are a lot of recommendations on the platform there for the Institute for the planned collaboration with WAEC, FRS, and also the secondary school level and all that. So a lot of recommendation coming into there. Yeah, Mr. President, because of time, I want you to speak to the coming annual tax conference. Let them hear it from you directly, like a kind of a pre-conference address, so to say. So we are, those who are physically live here through Zoom are over 250, and we have other people on YouTube and all that. So you have a large audience. So speak to your people, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first of all thank Chile for our continuous effort and active role in the Institute. You are well appreciated. Now, the conference is coming up in Abuja in May, specifically between 13th and 17th of May. Now, ordinarily, a conference should be able to give you a kind of vacation-like experience.
Okay.
You should be able to meet your old colleagues that you have not met for a long time. It should be an avenue for learning new things. Okay. It should be an avenue for you to socialize. So there are a lot of components of a conference, and I tell you, we are going to give you full dose this time around. So please register. We will be offering the various facilitator in another maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, so that you know the quality of people who will be handling the technical section. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. So I don't want to, Dr. Yemisoni, the chairman of the annual tax conference, he has his package for social wise. Okay. And those of us who are socially oriented in this, within the framework of what is socially responsible, okay, we should look out for what Yemisoni is has in place in plan for us. So, of course, the facilities in Abuja have been properly selected. Okay. I also don't want to say that. I want the chairman to say that, because once you give them, once you give members responsibility, then you allow them to the space to do that. But I can assure you that come May 13th to 17th, 2024, you have a good moment in Abuja. Don't just miss it for anything.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. President, are there any other program you want to share with us? Any other things is looking at within the horizon?
Like I've mentioned in the course of this program, it is not enough. The conference is good. It's going to, you are going to learn a lot of things. And this time around, we're also bringing people, still staying with the conference. Okay. We are bringing government officials. Mm-hmm. So we don't want 2024 annual tax conference to be tax professional talking to tax professionals. Okay. We want the tax policy makers, the politicians, to be in our midst, so that they can hear what the people are saying, and they can, of course, with the knowledge of what the people are saying, they can go back to their office, reflect, possibly amend some of the things we have in place. So to that extent, that program is going to be very rich. Now, we have mentioned the fact that you can't be a tax professional in the absence of knowledge. So a few days ago, I know we rolled out our training for 2024. This is key, so that you, across the country, be you in Kebbi, be you in Yenegua, be you in Osogbo. CITN is pan-Nigeria.
Yeah.
So we are not focusing on Nigeria alone, on Lagos alone. We are focusing on the country. So we have spread our program across the country, and I advise take the advantage, because this is the only thing that can give you the cutting edge over other people once you have the required knowledge.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's this CITN and ANAN joint workshop coming up. What's the strategy? What inspired or informed that joint workshop?
Let me start by saying CITN is a friendly professional institute. And I also make bold to say that ANAN is a friendly professional institute. We don't need any toxic practice within the space of the country. The opportunities are there for everybody to play his role. So this is key. So, and the list we have is big. The list we need in the country is bickering. So we need collaboration. We need to have handshake with each other, that we can have the country as our focus and how we can help. It is not enough to identify the problem. We must be solution provider. And by virtue of the good relationship between CITN and ANAN, we have identified the need to also play some role in terms of the budget. It is not enough to talk about the budget and criticize the government. What is the unique knowledge you have that you think the government has not brought into force, and you want to also highlight? So that is the reason, the reason behind this forthcoming conference seminar with ANAN, and I can just to highlight major and also bring out recommendations to government. And I tell you, the government is aware of this program that is coming up. So they are also waiting for whatever the solutions we are ready to provide, so that we will together build the nation, the Nigeria of our dream. It is just for to make impact for the country that we all love so greatly.
Oh, great. Thank you, Mr. President. We have members of the public who join this program who listen. And there's this assurance they need. They want to be sure that does the institution has a complaint and discipline mechanism about on the members. Maybe I engage a consultant, I've made payment, or you've not giving me value and all of that. Who can we run to?
Please run to CITN. Please run to CITN. The CITN will not condone any nonsense, because I tell you, tax practice today, if you are diligent, if you are knowledgeable, you will be good to go. You make good money. At no point not attending to your client's request properly. So to that extent, we expect anything unethical not to be associated with any of our members. That is our expectation, and that is what we get most of the time. But of course, you won't expect everybody, 28,000 members, behave the same way. So in the unlikely effect of anybody not doing the right thing, we have the mechanism in place, we have investigation panel, and we have the disciplinary tribunal. I've headed the investigation panel before, and I know it's not a good place for anybody to come. And I know our members don't want to come. So our good members, please don't come to that investigation panel. But should anybody have reason to bring you will meet those who will handle it. We will resolve it, and we will resolve the matter objectively and in accordance to the law of the nation. So we have a good mechanism. But again, we advise you, because of what I've seen in the past, please live above board, do what you need to do. There are a lot of money to make in this country. Just be diligent. If you work 22 hours outside the country, inside food, which is a reality, if you are able to do 15 hours in Nigeria, you may be good. So just let us just be the good professional that we are, and we trust that our members will always live above board.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. We've been keeping you for the past close to 1 hour. I want to, Mr. Uzoma Obano, so we'll not be able to take your call. Look, our time is up. I want to thank you, our esteemed president. You have so many qualifications, but let me say that from the audience. Mr. Sama, I believe, for being with us for the past 1 hour. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for being here. We look forward to still having you in the future to touch the various areas of the direction of the institute for members of the public to also take note of. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
So I want to thank the rest of our team. Those of them can't see them, but there are so many of them back there that did a whole lot of job. If not, will not be here. My job is just to do the talking, but we have a lot of strong guys at the back who have done all this. Thank you, the ICT team. Thank you, the cameraman. Thank you, the management staff, leadership of the institute. So see you in the next edition in the first Thursday of February, because this is a special edition. So first Thursday of February 2024. Join us once again. Bye for now.